The Krillian defense shields had held for 3,000 years. Impenetrable. Unbreakable. A technology so advanced that even the oldest civilizations in the Galactic Council had given up trying to replicate it. The Krillians wore their invincibility like a crown, their empire spanning 47 star systems, each one conquered without a single casualty on their side. They said no gun can break us, High Commander Zethrak had declared before the Council, his triple-jointed arms spread wide in a gesture of absolute dominance. Your weapons are children's toys. Surrender or be absorbed. Earth had 3 months to comply. Anna Reeves didn't believe in impossible. As the head of the Terran Defense Initiative's Advanced Weapons Division, she'd spent 15 years turning theoretical physics into practical warfare. Her lab, buried 3 kilometers beneath the Gobi Desert, hummed with the kind of energy that made veteran soldiers nervous. "They're laughing at us," Jackson Vero said, tossing a datapad onto her desk. The military liaison's jaw was tight, frustration bleeding through his usually composed demeanor. The council ambassadors. They're taking bets on how long we'll last. 2 weeks is the popular guess. Anna didn't look up from her holographic display where 10 different weapon schematics rotated in ethereal blue light. Let them laugh. Humanity has always done its best work when underestimated. Anna, we've thrown everything at those shields. Plasma cannons, antimatter torpedoes, gravitational disruptors. Nothing even makes them flicker. Jackson moved closer, his voice dropping. The Council's war archives go back 10 million years. If they couldn't crack Krillian technology, what makes you think we can? She finally met his eyes, and Jackson saw something there that made him step back. Not hope, certainty. Because they're thinking like a galactic civilization, Anna said. We're thinking like humans. The Krillian shields worked on a principle the Council had never fully understood. They didn't absorb energy or deflect it. They convinced the universe that the attack had never happened. Reality editing on a quantum level. Every weapon fired at a Krillian ship was simply erased from causality the moment it touched the shield. It was brilliant. It was unbeatable. It relied on one critical assumption. Anna's team had worked for 73 days straight. No breaks, no sleep cycles longer than 4 hours. Jackson brought them food, cleared bureaucratic obstacles, and watched a miracle take shape in real time. The 10 weapons weren't conventional. They weren't even logical by galactic standards. The first one didn't fire energy or matter. It fired questions, quantum uncertainty particles that forced the shields to choose what reality they wanted to exist in. While the shields were calculating, the second weapon fired paradoxes, logical impossibilities that crashed the reality editing algorithms like a virus in a computer. The third through seventh weapons were decoys, each one more elaborate than the last, designed to make the Krillians think they'd figured out humanity's strategy. The eighth was a thermobaric warhead, primitive by galactic standards, but timed perfectly to hit during the 3-nanosecond window when the shields rebooted. The ninth weapon was silence, an EM null field that made the Krillian sensors think their shields were still up when they'd actually failed. The 10th weapon was the truth, broadcast on every frequency in the galaxy. You said no gun can break you. You were right. We built 10 that worked together. When the Krillian dreadnought Eternal Dominion entered Earth's orbit, Commander Zethrak's confidence was absolute. He'd seen the human fleet assembling, their desperate little ships armed with desperate little weapons. He almost felt pity. Fire at will, he commanded. The human fleet opened fire. The first 3 weapons seemed to do nothing. Zethrak's tactical officer confirmed all attacks had been nullified. Then the displays started flickering. Error messages in Krillian script cascaded across every screen. Shields are questioning their own existence, the tactical officer said, his voice pitched with confusion. That's not possible. The 4th weapon hit. The 5th. The 6th and 7th weapons made the Eternal Dominion waste precious processing power on threats that didn't exist. The 8th weapon, crude, explosive, kinetic, punched through the starboard hull like a hammer through glass. Alarm screamed. The crew panicked. And in that moment of chaos, Zethrak finally understood. Humans didn't break the shields. They'd convinced the shields to break themselves. Anna watched from the command center as the Krillian flagship listed, atmosphere venting, secondary explosions rippling through its frame. Around her, the TDI staff erupted in cheers. Jackson stood beside her, silent. The Council will want this technology, he said quietly. They can't have it. Anna's fingers danced across her console, implementing the dead man switch she'd built into every weapon system. This doesn't work because of superior technology, Jackson. It works because of how humans think, our chaos, our refusal to accept impossible. You can't teach that to a civilization that's been doing things the same way for 10 million years. They'll try to steal it. Let them try. A ghost of a smile touched her lips. We'll have 10 new ways to stop them before they figure out how we did this. The Krillian Empire sued for peace 18 hours later. The Galactic Council, shocked into silence, granted Earth a seat with full voting rights. Humanity, the newcomers, the primitives who'd barely mastered faster than light travel, had done what 10 million years of galactic civilization couldn't. They'd made the unbreakable break. And they'd done it not with one miracle weapon, but with 10 different kinds of human ingenuity working in perfect chaotic harmony. In her lab, Anna archived the weapons data and started sketching new designs. Because she knew the truth that the rest of the galaxy was just learning. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't technology. It was the absolute refusal to accept that anything was truly impossible. Jackson found her 3 hours later, still working. "They're calling you the shield breaker," he said. Anna didn't look up. "I didn't break their shields. I just asked the right questions." She glanced at him, exhaustion and triumph mixing in her expression. "Want to know the real secret, Jackson? The galaxy said no gun can break them, so we didn't build a gun. We built 10 puzzles that looked like guns. And that made all the difference. That," Anna said, returning to her work, "is what it means to be human. ND."